Analysts are everywhere and is practically in every industry. Companies use analyst firms to better understand the market, get advice on technology purchases, and also to receive unbiased opinions about particular strategies, vendors, and more. Now, as a vendor, that is a company that provides some type of product, solution, or application, you need to be in the radar of such analysts so that you can build trust, reputation, and improve your chances of reaching your key buyers. While working with analysts is a critical piece of any B2B technology company, and most of the examples I will be using here are directly taken from my experience in B2B tech, if you're in B2C environment, the same advice and best practices also apply to you. And by understanding the basics of analyst relations, you can then tailor a program that works for your company and your particular market. Magic quadrants, waves, marketscapes, you may have heard these terms before, and it's no surprise that when people talk about analyst relations, they are typically mentioning someone's position in an analyst report that evaluated different vendors in the market. And when you ask CEOs and founders about analyst relations, they also typically first think of how they will place their companies as a leader in a particular report. But if you only focus on becoming a leader in a report and nothing else, you will be missing a great opportunity to truly leverage all that money and the effort spent with analysts. So let's first broaden our scope and understand that an analyst relations program can also tap into the knowledge that analysts have about the market, like your potential customers and product alternatives in that same market. Analysts can, for example, provide you with information about the category you play in, like sharing information about who is leading the market, who is gaining traction, and also what trends you should pay attention to. The market in general also, and identifying shifts and trends to watch out for, new opportunities and threats, as well as your entrance in the market and who you want to pay attention to. When it comes to your customer, it is very likely the companies you're targeting are clients of the analysts, and talk to analysts about their challenges and pain points, where the decision-making process looks like, and also their key priorities for their business. So by having all of this information, analysts can play an important role in helping you validate product roadmap features, whether what you're building provides unique differentiation in the market. And finally, because analysts are also talking with other vendors in your space, they know of their strengths and weaknesses and can provide you with a different lens on the market as it relates to who the leaders are and who are lagging behind, what potential blind spots are in those vendors, and analysts can also be a great source to validate your own company's messaging and positioning. So, given all of these different ways in which you can use analysts, what should you expect from your engagement? So, some of the typical benefits include increase in brand awareness or validation in messaging and positioning, also generation of new leads, building trust with potential buyers, helping prioritize items in your product roadmap, identifying M&A targets, educating internal stakeholders on the market and the competition. So the important thing to remember is that you will have to identify which expected results align with your company's needs, and this also guides the creation of your analyst relations program and help align with the company executives and other key stakeholders. Are you working at an early stage startup, an established company in the public market? Well, something in between maybe. Well, it is important to go into analyst relations with a clear understanding that this is not just the type of task that you do once and forget. A successful analyst program requires constant attention, preparation, and routine care. Basically, you will get whatever you put into it. So at early stage companies, the focus of product marketing is typically helping establish product market fit. And there is not time to be spent in front of analysts in most cases. As your company grows then and it scales, it may start bumping into competitors that use analyst reports as a way to discredit your company. So in very competitive markets, it becomes a standard play to vie for the very best position in a quadrant or a wave. So, how do you determine if you're at a point where spending time and money in an analyst program is right for you? Well, here are some guiding thoughts. First, are your competitors featured in analyst reports? And are these competitors the same companies that you see yourself competing with the next 2 to 3 years? Well, if the answer is yes, then you will probably have to make sure that analysts that are talking about these competitors are aware of your existence, and also that they start covering your company as well. The other point to consider is from your customer's point of view. Do you typically sell to C-level executives, or is your product more of a bottoms-up approach where you get individual team members to sign up before trying to sell higher-level decision makers? And are your customers small organizations or large enterprises? So executives at larger organizations, they tend to pay more attention to analyst reports, and they also tend to have subscription to those analyst services. So this is an important consideration, because if you're aiming at a slice of the market which decision makers that don't really care about the analyst report, then you don't need to spend much time with those analysts. So which leads us to the next item. First, do your customers mention analyst reports and ask why you were not featured in a report? Well, this is a data point that will likely come directly from your sales team. You will start hearing questions about whether we have plans on getting into the next quadrant or wave, and you may even see sales reps talking about how a competitor came in at the last minute to sweep the customer from their hands because of some kind of report. So, is your market established or emerging? It takes more time and effort to work on creating a new market category than work through an existing one. Given the current resources, should AR be a priority for you? This is where you have to take the previous points under consideration and then decide if, given other priorities you already have on your plate, if analyst relations should be a top one for you. If you're the sole product marketer, taking on analyst programs on top of everything else is a tough ask. If you're hiring or have more PMs or PMMs with you, can you share the load? A program for analysts requires someone to own it and drive all the activities necessary for it to be truly successful. Do you have executive buy-in? That's the final but one of the most important questions. In some cases, the CEO will come to you asking to start engaging with analysts. And in other situations, you will have to make a case for investing in a program. So I've been in both situations, and I can also tell you that the most important thing, whether you are asked to do it or you want to get the right thing to do or the green light to do, you will need alignment and buy-in from different executives in the organization, because a successful analyst program requires collaboration from multiple areas. More on this as we talk about creating your own program.